All right, guys, so we are going to continue using our standard algorithm only. So we're not going to be using that area model to solve this. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to set this up. And remember that first number is always going to be that number that's on the top. So it's going to be 758. And I'm going to multiply it by 92. Now, when you guys are doing this multiplication, you've got to make sure that those ones column lines up, the tens column lines up, and then if you have 200s columns, they line up. That way you're not confusing what numbers are needing to be added here, or multiplied here, sorry. Eventually down here, when you do this, you need to make sure they're all lined up as well so that when you do add them together, you have that done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start solving this. So I've got 8 times 2 is 16. I'm going to regroup my 1. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 1 more is 11, so I'm going to regroup my 1. I'm going to cross off that 1 just because I am going to be multiplying a 10, and so I'm probably going to be regrouping, and that's so that I don't get confused with that. So then 7 times 2 is 14 plus 1 more is 15. Okay, so I'm going to cross that one off. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to be multiplying by this 90. But instead of always saying 8 times 90, 5 times 90, 7 times 90, I am going to go ahead and I am going to put in this 0 because that's basically telling me, well, I've multiplied by a 10, so I have that 1 0. So now I can go through. 9 times 8 is going to give me 72. So then 9 times 5 is 45, plus 7 is 52. So I'm going to regroup that 5, cross off that 7. 7 times 9 is 63, plus 5 more is going to give me 68. So I'm going to add this up. 6 plus 0 is 6. 1 plus 2 is 3. 5 plus 2 is 7. 1 plus 8 is 7. And then I don't have anything regrouped, so I've just got 0 plus 6, which is 6. So my answer is 67,736. Or sorry, 1 times 8 is 9, guys. My goodness. I do not know what I'm thinking. 1 times 8 is 9. I think I was subtracting. So that's something that you guys also need to remember. As we're adding, we are not subtracting, but then I also can't take 1 minus 8. So make sure that you are double checking your math. So over here, and I'm actually going to kind of write this up here just so that I do have some more room. So I'm going to go ahead and put that 958, and remember that always is going to be that number that's on the top. I'm going to multiply it by 94, and I have very nicely lined up these problems. Okay, so I've got 8 times 4 is going to give me 32. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 3 more is 23. So I'm going to regroup that. I'm going to cross off that 3 because I am going to be doing another multiplication set. So now I've got 4 times 9 is 36, plus 2 more is going to give me 38. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, cross off that 2, is because I'm multiplying this 958 times 90, instead of having to say 90, I'm just going to automatically put that 0 because I'm basically saying I'm multiplying it by 90. Okay. But now I can just very nicely say, well, 9 times 8 is going to give me 72. Regroup my 7. 9 times 5 is 45, plus 7 more. 45 plus 7 is going to give me 52. I had to think about that, guys, for a second. Okay, cross off that 7. 9 times 9 is 81, plus 5 more is going to give me 86. So now I'm going to carefully add this up. 2 plus 0 is 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. 8 plus 2 is 10, and I'm going to regroup that 1. 6 plus 3 is 9, plus 1 more is 10, and I'm going to regroup that 1. 1 plus 8 is 9. So this answer that you should have is 90,052. Okay. Moving on to this next one. Remember, guys, that 476 is the number that goes on the top. I'm going to nicely line up that 65 underneath my ones column and my tens column. Multiply that out. So now I can go ahead and multiply. 6 times 5 is 30. Regroup my 3. 7 times 5 is 35, plus 3 more is 38, and I'm going to chop off that 3 because I've already used it, but I'm going to regroup that other 3. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 3 more is 23. All right. So now guys, remember, oh, I'm gonna cross off that 3. Now remember, because I'm not multiplying this just by 6, I'm multiplying it by 60. I'm gonna add that 0 because I've multiplied it by a 10. So then now I can multiply 6 times 6 is 36, regroup my 3. 7 times 6 is 42, plus 3 more is 45, regroup my 4. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 4 more is 28. Now, I know in the other problems what I did was I came up and I crossed off when I had regrouped these other ones. Because I'm not going to be multiplying any hundreds, I don't need to cross off any of those. So now what I can do is I can go ahead and I can solve this. I've got 0 plus 0 is 0. 8 plus 6 is going to give me 14. I'm going to regroup my 1 here. 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. 2 plus 8 is 10. I'm going to regroup my 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. So this answer is 30,094. Okay, we're going to do one more practice. 547 times 64. Okay, remember, lined it up nicely. First number is that number that's on the top. Now I'm going to go through and multiply these numbers. I've got 7 times 4 is 28. Regroup my 2. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 2 more is 18. Regroup my 1. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21. So I'm going to add that 0, because remember, guys, I'm multiplying this 547 now times 60, but I'm adding that 0 to show me that I multiplied it by a 10. I'm going to cross these off. I should have done that, but I did not. So now 7 times 6 is going to be 42. Regroup my 4. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 4 more is 28. Regroup my 2. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 2 more is 32. And remember, guys, I want to make sure that these are nicely lined up. 8 plus 0 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. Regroup my 1. 8 plus 1 plus 1 is, 8 plus 1 is 9, plus 1 more is 10. Regroup my 1. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 more is 5. And then, of course, I've got 0 plus 3 is 3. So the answer is 35,008. All right. So this says a carpet costs $16 a square foot. A rectangular floor is 16 feet long by 14 feet wide. How much would it cost to carpet the floor? So guys, this is another two-part problem, all right? So the first thing I need to do is I need to find out what the square footage of this rectangular floor or this room that we are basically going to be carpeting. Then I'm going to take what I know what the square foot is I'm going to then come over here and multiply that times 16 so I know how much money do I need to carpet this floor, carpet this room. So you all should know that when I find area of a rectangle, especially since it's a rectangle, it is going to be length times width, L times W. Length times width is area. So here is my rectangular floor, so of my room that I'm going to be carpeting. I know that the length, it says it is 16 feet long. So it's 16 feet long, so here's that 16. And it is going to, and I'm going to put feet, okay? And then I have 14 feet wide, okay? And what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out what is the square footage right here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 16 times 14. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply 16 times 14. 6 times 4 is 24. Regroup my 2. 4 times 1 is 1, plus 2 more is going to be 6. I'm going to cross off that 2 because I am multiplying a 10. So remember, because I'm multiplying this by 10, I need to go ahead and add that 0. So now I can do 6 times 1 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. And I can add it up. Sorry, guys, it kind of went in with that one. So now I can add this up, and this I'm going to get 4. 6 plus 6 is 12. Regroup my 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So I know that the square footage of this room or this carpet is 224 square feet. So I know that each square foot is going to cost me $16. So that means now I need to take that square footage that I have, that 224, and I need to multiply it by 16 because I'm multiplying it by $16 to find out how much it's going to cost me to carpet this. Because guys, remember, if you were to think about this rectangle right here, I would have almost like 224 of these little blocks in here to show me that this is 1 square foot, this is 1 square foot, this is 1 square foot, this is 1 square foot. So that's why I'm having to multiply this to find out how much money it would cost. So now I can go ahead from what I know to multiply this using my standard algorithm. I've got 6 times 4 is 24. Regroup my 2. 2 times 6 is 12 plus 2 more is 14. I'm going to regroup my 1, but I'm going to cross off that 2. 6 times 2 is 12 plus 1 more is 13. Or cross off that 1. So remember, I'm multiplying this now by 10, so I have to have that 0 here. 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 1 is 1. 2 times 1 is 1. So now I can go ahead and add these up. 4 plus 0 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 3 plus 1 is 4. 1 plus 1 is 2. So to be able, guys, I messed this up. I am so sorry. All right, adding that 0 there. 1 times 4 is 4. Guys, what is 2 times 1? It is 2. What is 2 times 1? It is 2. Hopefully when we were doing this, you guys caught me on this mistake so that you guys can see this. Sometimes I do make mistakes. Sometimes you guys will make mistakes. And if you can catch them, that is great. So now I'm going to re-add this up. 4 plus 0 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 3 plus 2 is 5. 1 plus 2 is 3. So to be able to carpet this cost, it would cost $3,584 to carpet the floor. Okay, might be a lot of money, but it is a pretty big room.